and
Yep, we are
we is
live.
on.
Stranger things in the house.
There you
Yeah,
go, man. Stranger things have
things
happened.
are strange. Strange things are happening.
Oh, trust me, man. Trust me. Devout, by the way, I think we've probably spoken just an hour before the
Yeah,
actual show
yeah,
started.
exactly an hour.
That's shit. Actually, that could have been an episode. Anyway, listen, look,
What?
folks.
Really? One day, do you know what we should do? Just to throw people off. One day, we should. I'm gonna do it by secret. I'm gonna
Yeah.
record the first hour
And then just leave let
and
us talk the shit
and
that we
we'll
talk
out.
and then know
We'll put that
exactly.
out and not a normal show and see what happens. Do you know what? Maybe all this time that's what the people want. Maybe all this time that is what they want,
Exactly.
and what we do is nothing.
You know what? That's a great idea. Hey, listen, we got a good show for you, listener. So we're going to be speaking about American Fiction, which is a
Mm.
BAFTA award-winning film. I think it's been nominated for an Oscar as well. I'll double check that whilst the show's on air. But listen, yeah. So we've got American Fiction. Deval's going to be speaking about a hidden gem. We've got the usual stuff that we're going to go through. Obviously, trailers, new on streaming, movie news, all that sort of stuff. So stick with us. This is episode. Damn, Deval, what episode is this?
277. We're going to heaven.
Man, in a good way, by the way. Yeah, like not like we're not going anywhere just soon,
Yeah,
but
yeah, exactly.
yeah, exactly. All right, so let's get on to the show, Deval. So listen, you're going to do what?
Yeah, got a couple of shout outs this week
Mm,
actually. So first shout out goes to a new listener. I think a
mm.
new listener. I think a new name. Jacqueline A. Responded on YouTube.
Yeah.
So we put out a show a couple of weeks ago. We talked about society in the snow,
I
amongst
want to,
other
yeah.
stuff. So
I don't know if this is a cuss or if this is a what, but when I was reading
we
this, I was
take
just like,
all of it. We take
exactly. But it's
cusses,
great. This is
we
great.
take compliments, whatever you want to give us, we'll take it. But yeah, Jacqueline said basically she's responding to some of the stuff that we said. Some of the stuff that we say is not always 100% accurate, So it is what it is. Sometimes we say things and it might not be actually 100%, but we mean well.
Yeah,
So she was just
exactly.
correcting us on a few things, and she was saying, no, in Chile, this is the film where society in the snow, where a rugby team sort of crash in the Andes, and she was saying in Chile they are called gauchos. I'm not sure what she's referring to, but in Chile they're called gauchos.
Yeah.
In Argentina, uh, sorry, in Chile they are
In
not
Chile, they're
called
called
gauchos.
arrieros.
Yeah. Arjeros. Okay, yeah, it's just that in Chile they're not called gauchos. That's in
Yeah.
Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil. In Chile they are called ayeros. Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, do you know what we love being corrected? Do you know
I
it
love
goes to
it.
show that you know your stuff, and if you know your stuff, if you want to come on a show, come on a show. We'll love to have you on the
Exactly.
show. So that's a open invitation to you, Jacqueline. Come on the show.
Yeah. Come on the show and then we can speak and then you can kind of correct us on our pronunciation and things like that. Listen, we could talk Chilean movies, man. That's what we should do.
Another
So yeah,
person, Miriam Levin. I think this person says that they were stuck out for 72 days, not 2 months. You see, again, people just giving us facts. Facts.
I
Facts.
love it.
So big shout out to you, Jacqueline, and also Miriam. Last shout out goes to Adele Turner. So Adele Turner is on Instagram. She's been a friend of the show for a good
Mm,
couple of years now, I think,
yeah,
actually.
man.
Really loves her Korean stuff. You think we don't know Adele? We know you love your Korean movies, and there's lots of good Korean movies that have been coming on Netflix and
Yeah,
here and there.
loads.
So if you want to come on a show one day as well, Adele, come on a show. We can talk about any kind of movie, Korean movie or otherwise.
Otherwise,
But yeah, it was her birthday as well recently. So
ah,
happy
happy
birthday to you,
birthday.
Adele. Happy birthday. Hope you had a good one.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll see you soon.
But yeah, hopefully you can be on the show, Adele.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into movie news now. So Deval, this is just really, really recent, actually. So, we had kind of the news of James Gunn moving
Mm,
over to DC. He's going to be writing, or he's written, and he's going to be directing the new Superman movie. So,
mm,
originally, Deval, this was going to be called Superman Legacy, But now there's a name change.
There's a name change. What is that name change?
Now it's just called Superman.
Oh, is it? Okay, I didn't know that. I was thinking,
But
shit, you want me to make
yeah,
a name change? I didn't know
that
the name change.
I was like, why? Like, so James Gunn just, a few days ago and everything, he's just come out and he just said, hey, when I wrote the first draft, it was Superman Legacy, but now we kind of realized that it's just going to be Superman. And there's a shot of of his suit and kind of like, really, really basic thing. But that's not the news on this week's kind of section
Yeah.
of movie news, Deval. What is the actual main news?
Yeah, the main news is there's going to be a Supergirl. Maybe it's going to be
Mm,
called Superwoman now. You know how times have changed, but
yeah.
Supergirl is now going to be played by Millie Alcock or Millie
Mm.
Alcock, depending on how you pronounce it.
She's an
She was
Aussie.
she's an Aussie. She is an Aussie. She's from Down Under,
Yep.
and she was the one who played. Uh, I can't remember the name of her character. I'll
She's a
find out. But
Targaryen.
she's a Targaryen, and she was in House of the Dragon.
Mm.
If you've watched House of the Dragon, which is a Game of Thrones sort of spin-off or prequel, she was a younger character of a Targaryen, and then the older character was played in the second half of the show.
Yeah.
So she was a sort of younger character in House of the Dragon. She did really well. She was
She's really
really good,
good.
really fierce, really sort of bold, courageous, a really energetic character. And I think she'll bring all those characteristics and all those energies to her Supergirl role. That's what I
Yeah.
think anyway. And I think just the look, if you look at her, if you sort of Google Millie Alcock,
Mm.
if you Google her, you'll see that she does have that Supergirl look to her. You know, Supergirl's blonde, and she's quite vibrant, and I think she
Mm.
kind of embodies that. So I think she should do well. The only thing for me is she's very, very like small,
Yeah.
petite. People say petite, you can't say small or something, but
Small anymore now. Yeah.
yeah, she's really petite. So
She's
how
gonna
that comes
bulk up.
across on screen, yeah, I don't know. You know how it comes across on screen, I don't know. Maybe that's what they want. You know, James Gunn knows what he wants,
Mm.
so maybe that's what he wants. Maybe somebody that looks really maybe small and a bit fragile, but isn't.
But
You
they
know
pack a punch. And
exactly.
listen,
So maybe
we've already had a Supergirl, Superwoman in the Flash. Remember in the Flash, there was that whole segment when
yeah.
they kind of, so she's obviously like no more.
I feel for her.
Um,
When she got the news about that, she was mad happy, and she thought she was going to be the Supergirl
Girl
for
going
a
forward.
while.
Yeah.
That was quick.
That
Mm.
just got cut short. Same thing will happen with Henry Cavill. So that's interesting. So go check that out. Millie Alcock, go check her out in Game of Thrones if you haven't seen that. Let's move on now. Listen, Maxine, or what was it again? It was called X, wasn't it, or something? What were those movies?
Maxine X and Pearl, or
Pearl,
X
that was it.
Maxine Pearl, or however you want to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of the weird kind of horror. Oh yeah, it was. I remember watching Pearl, which
Mm.
was kind of like it was a prequel to the stuff that goes on in X,
Yeah.
and it's this kind of Mia Goth. She plays like a character in there. She's kind of off her rockers a little bit, and she just goes on a killing spree. And I'm assuming, Deval, that this is going to be we're going to get more of this in the new kind of expanding universe, right?
We're gonna get a lot more. Ty West loves these kinds of films. He
Mm,
directed the other two, like you said,
yeah.
and Maxine. This is the new film. So Maxine, which is going to be out later this year. Ty West just confirmed that they are still finishing the edit,
Mm,
post production. So Maxine is going to be the third film in the trilogy. Maxine, I'm actually still not sure who Maxine is and how she links, because I know before with Pearl, Pearl linked in with X, in that
yes.
Pearl was the old
The
lady in
grandmother,
X.
the
Exactly.
old lady, yeah.
Exactly. So I'm not sure how
So,
Maxine links in, but she links in. And in this Maxine film, it's going to be based in the 70s, I believe.
oh,
It's the 70s in LA. And alongside Mia Goth as Maxine, you're going to have Elizabeth Debicki, who's
okay.
seen, which is really
She's
good.
doing great stuff at the moment now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle Monaghan, Giancarlo Esposito,
Oh
so Gus
gosh,
Fring himself,
Gus Fring
Kevin
himself.
Bacon, Lily Collins. So you got some good actors there, you know. So
Yeah. It'd
Yeah.
be
So this,
interesting. Yeah, we'll give it a watch. Actually, yeah, because I remember I watched those the other two and everything, and I was like, she's really crazy and weird and like
mm,
um, yeah, so we'll give that a go. Listen, look, I didn't. I'm just going to quickly squeeze this one on there. I know it wasn't on our movie news, but just very briefly, I just want to mention this. There's a new film that's going to be coming out on Amazon Prime worldwide, 21st of March. It's called Roadhouse,
mm,
starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
mm.
And this is a remake of a 1980s movie starring Patrick Swayze, which I loved. It's a classic Stone Cold like 80s movie, where he plays a bouncer and he goes off to some kind of small town and he gets into kind of trouble over there as well. Here's the thing: it stars Jake Gyllenhaal and it stars Conor McGregor.
Mm.
But the director of the movie, Deval, is Doug Liman, who directed The Bourne, one of the Bourne movies, and he
Okay.
directed Edge of Tomorrow. You know
Edge
that
of Tomorrow.
Edge of
Tom,
Tomorrow,
that's a good
Tom Cruise
film,
movie,
you know.
really good movie. He's basically not going to promote the movie. I
Why?
just thought it's so weird because Amazon are sending it direct to streaming.
He doesn't like that.
He doesn't like that. And here's the
Ah,
thing,
ah.
and there's a bit of a kind of tit for tat going on. So he said, no, it should have been a cinema release. And then Jake Gyllenhaal, who's one of the producers, is like, look, I understand where he's coming from, but when we signed on to make the film, it was always going to be a streaming movie.
Is it?
So make of that what
He,
you will. I just found it
he,
interesting where the director is kind of like distancing himself, like,
mm,
which is weird, right?
wow. Ooh,
So
beef.
21st of March. We'll check it out and
Yeah,
we'll see what all the hype is
yeah.
about. Okay, let's move on. Let's do new on streaming. So Devout man, I can't believe this is five
Mm.
seasons. 5 seasons of this. So this just shows you, man, how popular
Oh, it's even
this
my
is.
typo. You see how we spoke about correct our facts not being 100% sometimes?
6 seasons.
Six
Deval just
seasons.
midway
Yeah.
had to correct this. So this has been going on for 6 seasons on Netflix. This is
Yeah.
Love is Blind. And man, we've spoken about this before. The attraction of watching these kind of documentaries, kind of these reality TV shows. People out there, man, are looking for love and they want to see how other people are doing it. And people laugh at this, people they joke at it, and people find genuine love, man. But yeah, what is the appeal?
The appeal for this is the drama that happens.
Mm,
This show has been going for 6 years now or so.
mad.
The whole premise is they select a few people. They're all from the same city, by the way, in America. They select a bunch of people, maybe it's 20 or 30 men, 20 or 30 women, and they basically go into these pods where they cannot see the person they're
Mm,
speaking to. And over a series of a few weeks, or maybe a week or something, they have a series of dates, multiple dates a day,
mm,
and they've got like a wall. They can't see them, but they can hear them.
yeah,
So you're getting to know someone without seeing them.
seen
And
them.
they're saying that, is the statement "love is blind"? Is it true? Because can you fall in love with someone or really like someone without seeing them? At
Mm.
the end of the time period that they've got, they need to pick who they want to go forward with. And when I say go forward, they actually they get engaged.
It's which is
they
mad.
they get engaged, and then the marriage is, I think, in about 3 months' time or something like that. And while they're engaged, they get to find out about each other. They get to meet
Yeah,
their families. They get to live together. And at the end of 3 months, they have to decide:
whether they
are
want to.
we going to get married or are we not
Mm,
going to get married? So the show is very dramatic. A lot happens. Beef happens. Arguments
mad.
happen. Breakups happen. But marriages also do happen as well. So
Yeah,
it's a show to watch. It's on Netflix and six
it's
seasons in,
mad,
so
right?
it must have been
And
something right.
and listen, did you ever watch this? This is now going back a while. There was this show on Channel 4. So this is a TV channel back in the UK. It might have been E4 or Channel 4, one of those
Yes,
channels.
I've watched it. Yes, I've watched it. I know
Do
what
you
you're
know
gonna
which one?
say. I know what you're
The
gonna
one with
say.
the naked,
Naked,
with the
naked attraction.
naked devout. It was. How do we get away? Like in England, how do we get away with showing
Oh
that
my!
type of TV?
You know what it
I don't
is?
think.
I know why.
What
They add in science and they class it as a sort of reality show, but also
scientific? Yeah, yeah,
documentary. So that's why
yeah.
they're allowed to put people starkers. They stand there, starkers, with all their bits hanging out, and
Hanging
people
out.
have to decide if they want to date them. even before they see their face, they see their
Face.
bits, and then they decide on it, and then they go on these dates. A lot of time they bang on these dates. It's mad.
They're
But
mad.
they
I'm
really
surprised
critique.
that hasn't been on Netflix, man. They should do bring that
I don't think so. I think they're too scared for that because
because yeah, a lot of
critique everything.
sensibilities that would be too much,
Yeah,
right?
they critique everything. They say, oh,
Like the
her
vagina
breasts
is
are
like
too
too
this, or
hairy or
yeah, or
whatever.
his willy's too big, or he's got too much this, or the arse is like they go
Saggy
in.
ass,
Oh my
everything. But what
gosh.
I'm saying is that you as the person, as you know, the person on the show is like you have to be so open that you like everyone's gonna see your bits and pieces, man.
Mm, mm. And
It's
people
like
around the world think Brits are shy and reserved.
no.
Flipping heck, this show
Watch
is
this show
crazy.
and you will see, man, Brits aren't like up their ass and conservative and like whatnot. But anyway, go check that out. That's Love is Blind. Now this one, we'll speak about this. And also this is Emmanuel kind of mentioned this to us as well. And I thought this was going to be a Netflix, but no, this is actually a Disney Plus show. This is Shogun. And this is, man, a sweeping saga,
Mm,
Japanese, like, a kind of historical piece. And I remember this is a remake of, there was a TV show called Shogun, but I can't remember if it was the 70s or
oh,
the 80s and everything. And I think it was this guy called Richard Chamberlain. I remember watching it, man. I was like way too young, but I still remember it. But it was kind of like a really famous show. So I guess it's kind of going to be similar to the original show, but it's got the guy, this Japanese actor. He's in everything, man. What's his name, Deval? Come on, man.
Hiroyuki
Ah,
Sanada. So he was in
whenever
Mortal
you
Kombat.
want
He was it Iceman? What's his name? Sub Zero, or was he
Sub
Scorpion?
Zero
One of
something, he's
them.
been in horror movies. He's been in obviously John Wick. He's
Mm,
been in Marvel. Like, he's this guy. Whenever there's like if you want a Japanese presence in a film,
yeah,
he's the one that you go to.
yeah, yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
looks decent
when
though. I'll probably give it a watch if I got time. But it's 10 episodes on Disney Plus, so it's all
mm,
there for you.
exactly, it's all there. It's all there. All right, let's do trailers. So I haven't seen this one, Deval. So let us know what this one is. This is The Watchers. Oh,
Mm, mm,
this
mm,
looks this
mm.
kind of scary.
This is a. Hmm. You know from the title, The Watchers, what it's going to be about, innit?
Oh
You
no,
kind of know
man.
it's going to be something weird,
Sci-fi
something
hit.
exactly.
Oh gosh.
And all I'm going to say to you here is, oh, because we saw The Watcher on Netflix, that was a different kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is The Watchers. This is starring Dakota Fanning.
Yep.
Also starring, oh, where is it again? Yeah, starring Georgina Campbell, who we saw in Barbarian,
Yeah, she's
among
good.
others. Yeah, and who else has got in it? Who else? Who else? Who else? Yeah, a few other people.
She's
They
British.
yeah, I think she is actually. Yeah, I think she is. I think she is. But I'll tell you who this is produced by. Not directed, but produced by.
Who?
This is produced by M.
Ah,
God, you
M
finish it
Night.
off. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
M. Night.
So this is gonna have that twisty,
Mate,
horror-y,
it's going to have twists galore. But guess,
and
guess who directed it? He produced it. Guess who's directed it?
mm, don't say Jordan Peele.
I. Night Shyamalan.
I
His
Night. Oh
daughter, he's
my,
got a daughter.
is
It's
it?
not Night. I just put that in, but his daughter's called Ishana Shyamalan. She's
Mm,
directed it. So this is in the family.
this
This
is
is
this is
in
it,
the
man.
family.
What?
So this is basically it's M Night Shyamalan film. Put it that way.
Yeah, yeah,
Put it that way.
exactly.
The fact that the daughter's directing it. Oh shit, she is Night as well. I was joking, but she is Night. She is.
She is a night.
She is a
Okay.
Night.
Yeah.
I
So
just
when's
finished
this
the
coming out, man? I want to see this.
This is out in June. We've got to wait a little while, but it's June.
Okay, so a
June's
couple
gonna be
more
a good month.
months.
Yeah,
March,
June's gonna be
April,
a
May,
good month.
June.
But
Okay.
this trailer is like basically they're in this place where they're being watched
Mm,
and they can't
nasty.
interact with who's watching.
Oh
I don't
gosh.
know what else to say. They're
What's
in the
watching them?
woods. They're in the dark. They're in this. There's a mirror and she can't see what's going on. She puts her ear to it. It's
Oh gosh.
spooky. It's Shyamalan, all written
all
all over
over.
it. It's gonna be good. Put it that way.
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh man, listen, we've seen a few of the movies, and obviously he's had some misses, and but there's been some decent ones in there.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we'll obviously watch it. Now, listen, I want to speak about this next trailer, and this is, by the way, I'll preface this by saying it's an A24 movie, and you know what I've noticed about A24, they're doing a lot more.
Say no more. You're still talking. You've got
Exactly.
nothing more to say.
Nothing else to say.
Show over. Goodbye.
A24, say no more. But A24, I've noticed Deval, man, they're doing more and more kind of horror, psychological, because obviously I think we're at a point now where they're doing, horror movies are doing really, really well.
Yeah, they are. If you can do it on a short, low budget, if you
Mm.
make it well, it can flip 20x, 50x in money.
to borrow from our crypto
Yeah,
terminology. But this one, I'll just kind of briefly mention. This is called I Saw it's weird. It's called
I've
I
seen it.
Saw the TV Glow, and it stars. Now I've seen this guy in Pikachu. He was in the Pikachu movie, and
Yeah.
he was in Dungeons and Dragons. So he's
Yeah.
kind of this nerdy kind of character that I've seen
So
pop up in
dynamic
some of
though.
these movies.
He can fit there and fit here, isn't it? It's weird. He just
It's
fits both.
weird.
Yeah.
And there's it's got like an 80s vibe to it, and there's something going on with a TV program that was back in the day, that when people watch it, they're either getting infected with something, and then they're shoving their head in the TV screen. I don't know. I don't want to watch whatever that TV program is, but I want to watch this movie. And it's just kind of weird. It's kind of right up A24 street, where they bring in kind of this great storytelling. And when you watch the trailer, and I'm basically giving it nothing away over here, it's got things like a masterpiece, one of the greatest kind of like horror movies type of things in a long, long time. And I kind of really intrigued. So I'm saying no more because it's
That's
A24.
mate. I cannot wait for this film. I saw the
Yeah.
trailer and I was so glad he put it on there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So when that comes out, we will definitely watch it. Now, this one, if you want to go big and you want to go bold, check this movie out. This is on Netflix, and they've roped in Billy Bobby Brown. And man, I'm telling you, she's obviously Billy Bobby Brown. No, sorry, Billy Bobby Brown.
Probably her
I just,
brother. That's probably her
yeah,
brother.
this is Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
And she's obviously big from Stranger Things. She's done, Enola Holmes, she's Sherlock Holmes thing, but she's going to be a big star, man. And this is, she plays a damsel, and the movie's called Damsel, a damsel in distress. You know, that whole kind of princess trope that we've read about, heard about. And I guess what they want to do is they want to flip the script.
Mm.
And she is out there to kind of like save herself rather than a prince is going to save her. But this is kind of got Lord of the Rings vibes with it, Deval.
Yeah.
Um, those fantasy movies that we're fans of.
Yeah. I thought it was some sort of Snow White kind of remake or something like that, or I don't know. But yeah, you're right. It does seem interesting. Ray
Mm,
Winstone's in it.
yep.
Angela Bassett's in it. Also, the lady from Robin Wright. Yeah, she's in it from House of
Okay.
Cards
Yes.
and also Wonder Woman. So this looks really fantastical, just like you said.
Mm,
Oh my gosh, it's got Uli Ackerman. I
okay.
recognize this guy. Oh my gosh, he's done well. Uli Ackerman. I've met him before, years ago
Okay.
at a film screening.
You got
Oh
to
my
get him on the show.
gosh, he's done really well. He's in
Deval, let's
in it.
book him on the show.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he's done well. I'll
And
try and contact him
yeah,
if he's still
if he's still around. And let's try and
membership
get
as
Billy
well.
Bobby Brown as well.
Oh, that's really good. It's so funny when you see someone you've met on
Met
the
before, and they've
yeah.
just kind of, yeah.
Okay. Also,
So
Billy Bobby
when's it
Brown.
coming out?
This is coming out in so March the 8th, so literally a few days time.
Okay,
Few
so
days
this is going to
time.
be Friday night. This is going
Yeah.
to be a great Friday night
Friday
movie.
Night Lights.
Popcorn, beer, whatever tickles your fancy.
Mm.
Cuddling up, and get into this. So yeah,
I was
I'll
gonna
watch
say
that.
just before we go to the next one, I did check up on her family. Her brother's actually called Charlie Brown. Their parents
Charlie
are
Brown. They're
yeah.
taking the piss, man. They're like, what are they doing?
And Millie Bobby Brown just turned 20 just a few days ago. So she's
Oh,
just turned 20. She's been
damn.
a child star for ages.
For
She was
ages, man.
born in Malaga, Andalusia, Spain. Didn't know that.
Oh, I wonder if she speaks
Mm.
Espanol.
We don't know that. We'll find out one day.
We'll have
But
to get
yeah,
her on the show to find out.
bit of info.
All right. So that's Damsel. Go check those trailers out and go check out what's on streaming. And remember, get in touch with us, folks. You heard Jacqueline. She got in touch with us. She made a comment. You could be a comment on, something that we've done, and then we can speak about you and bring you on the show. Hopefully, let's do anniversary corner and
Yep.
from
20
20
years ago.
years ago. Jeez,
So when
20
Millie
years
Bobby
ago.
Brown was born, this film came out.
And this is peak. What's his name?
Will Smith.
Will Smith, man.
Mm.
Like I mean, listen, look, Will Smith, obviously, Independence Day. He was kind of obviously Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I Robot kind of just cemented him as his leading star. I Am Legend, that kind of big Hollywood blockbuster actor, Oscar winner, we should say as well. And I remember watching this, man. I loved it. I thought this was great because for me, it was like, shit, man, AI.
Hmm.
This is the future. This is what could happen. Imagine, we saw Terminator 2, what could happen to, Skynet, when they switch on the robots and, end of the world type of thing. And literally, this is kind of what happens. But yeah, man, what did you make of it back when the graphics weren't maybe the best, but they still did well?
Intent was there, and this is going to link onto a
Mm,
film we're going to talk about a bit later. But
yeah.
AI, the world we live in now, well, I was going to choose either iRobot or Transcendence by
Mm,
Johnny Depp, but I just sort of went with this one. But
yeah.
yeah, AI and how things can be so artificial intelligence, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I mean, this film looks at it's 2035, by the way, which now is not a long time
It's
away.
not a long time. I know.
You know what I mean? So this actually could happen. But a technophobic cop, Will Smith, investigates a crime that may have been perpetrated by a robot, which leads to a larger threat to humanity. And we all know that when people create computers and AI, they always say, "Oh no, the computer will never harm humans. That's its
Mm.
first mandate or its first programming, uh, command.
Do
Don't
not
touch."
harm
Exactly.
humans.
And then
Yeah.
what do they do? Do you know what I mean? It's like Adam and Eve and the tree. Don't eat the fruit. What's
Fruit.
the thing you want to do then? You want to eat the
Eat
fruit.
the fruit.
So they're always going to harm us. So just don't
Mm.
create them. So that's what happens in iRobot. And I think it sort of leads into a wider conversation with artificial intelligence and AI and computers and all the power that they've got in our lives right now. And in the future, the power they will have, and how AI and computers will bleed into every aspect of our lives that
Mm.
even now we're not thinking of. So
I know.
it's a big
It's true,
conversation
man.
to have.
You know what? I honestly, I reckon we're going to be in that future where, like, we're going to have like robot servants, like,
Mate,
making food for us,
mate,
walking the dogs. It's just gonna
mate,
and you see it in this movie. You see
mate,
it in this movie. It's gonna
mate.
happen.
I was even gonna do. I was gonna talk about her, but it didn't match up with the anniversary
Yeah.
corner. But her artificial intelligent relationships.
Yep.
You know,
The people are
deep
having
relationships.
relationships with dolls right now.
Chat GPT. You can chat to a program. It can talk back to you and give you what you want.
Yeah.
And think about that on 100 level scale. You can have interactions and relationships with people that are not real, and we'll talk a bit more about that later. But we are literally just touching the surface
Man, I hate
of
to,
this.
I hate to, but I love that. Just touching
I'm
his,
telling
his
you.
temples there. But listen, also, I just realized this right now. Yeah, and don't you remember the kind of similarities between this? I remember when I watched it, I was like, oh, this is like Blade Runner. Because remember, he's
Mm,
investigating these
mm,
been murders and whether the replicants can actually
yes,
kill and are they
you're
human.
right.
And
You're
so
right.
exactly. So there's a lot of
Right.
that stuff going on. And yeah, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's iRobot, it's Will Smith.
Mm.
And a lot of people are saying that well, there was a rumor at some point, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, that he was going to actually do a sequel to this.
I think a sequel would be so timely, and I think the technology has moved on so advanced, like so much that what would the new iRobots look like? I think they'll look like us. which would be
Mm,
even more dangerous. Do you know what I mean?
I
Oh my
know.
gosh.
Blending in. Oh my gosh. All right. So listen, go check that out. It's a classic movie from 20 years ago. Go, watch it and let us know what you think. All right. Let's do a film review. I want to speak about this one. And this is, I've mentioned it before at the kind of the top of the show, where it's kind of like a BAFTA award winning. And this is a movie called American Fiction. And here's the thing, I was just really, really surprised, Deval, that
Mm,
it's out on Amazon Prime so quickly when
mm.
it's like still showing in cinema.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. I'm really
Mm.
surprised. Yeah.
Um, so it's been nominated for Best Picture. It's been nominated for Best Actor, and well, 5 categories in total. So it's quite big, man. So it's a movie, small budget. It hasn't got obviously your huge Hollywood stars, and I just think it's all for the better because I had a really really great time watching the movie. Now it stars um, the Watcher. We spoke about the Watchers. It stars the Watcher. So this is Geoffrey Wright who voices the Watcher
Mm,
in
yeah.
Marvel's What If.
Yeah.
And Geoffrey Wright, Deval, he's 58 years old, and this guy's had a really, really kind of, varied career. I remember watching him in Shaft. The
Mm,
first time that I saw him was in a movie called Shaft, which is Samuel L. Jackson, Christian Bale, and in that movie, Jeffrey Wright, he plays kind of like a gangster, like a Latino gangster in there, really menacing. I know, really
okay.
menacing guy. This guy has got a huge range. It stars Sterling K. Brown, it stars Erica Alexander, Issa Rae, it stars Tracy Ellis Ross and Adam Brody, and Keith David, who's in a
Mm,
really, really great. This great. So in it, Jeffrey
man.
Wright plays an author. He's an African American author, and his books aren't getting traction. So he's frustrated. He's he's sick and tired of kind of the image that black writers are getting in America. And there's a
Mm,
particular type of book that sells and which are really popular with white middle class readers,
okay.
and that's not his thing. And then so he's kind of confronted with this kind of this issue of should he write like that, should he write and pander to kind of what the audience wants. At the
Mm,
same time, his mum is suffering from dementia, his sister recently passed away, and
mm,
he's got a really iffy relationship with his brother played by Sterling K. Brown, who's really really great in this. And then for a laugh, for a joke, one night he's drinking. He's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to give the people what they want. He comes up with a book called My Pathology. And what it is him sticking his middle finger up at the critics, up at the literary world, up at kind of the book publishers. And it's like,
mm,
hey, you want a joke? You want a book about kind of what it means to be an African American in kind of, modern day America right now? I want to write the silliest, stupidest book
mm.
that there is. Lo and behold, Deval, the
It does
book
well.
becomes
Oh
the
my
book
gosh.
becomes a bestseller, and then his problems begin from that point onwards. All right, so I'm gonna leave it just at that. But I'm telling you, man, it's funny. It's um, it's not a typical movie in the sense that this is the type of movie that you probably would have watched back in the day, and it would have been about a white person. And the
Mm,
fact that
okay.
we're getting Jeffrey Wright playing this character, and he's talking about the tropes that we see in movies, in books, and about how kind of being black and about the kind of the street ghettoized
Mm,
versions of black people, how that sells. I think
mm,
it's brilliant, man. He speaks about race, and he speaks about kind of in the world that what version that people want to see. I think it's brilliant, it's funny, it's got a political aspect to it as well. And 100%, man, if you can watch it, if people out there listen to the show, it's an Oscar nominated movie, and it's
mm.
got a great cast. So you just got to go out and watch it. It's funny.
I want to watch it. I'm so gutted I didn't get a chance to watch it before the
Yeah.
review. I started it and didn't finish, so I'm going to finish it today for sure. But from what I've
Yeah.
seen so far, it does look like a really smart film. So
Smart.
it plays on lots of tropes, like you just said, and in a smart way. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to relate to some of those as well. And I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to watch. Yeah.
It's definitely worth a watch, and just to kind of see how, and it'd be really interesting to see on Oscar night, kind of how it kind of does well. We know that Oppenheimer
Mm.
is obviously probably going to win Best Director, but Best Film maybe still up in the air. We don't know. Hopefully, man, this has got a really good vote for me. Like American Fiction is really great. It's pleasantly surprised. Had a great time watching it, and you should watch it as well. So
Mm.
that's me done. We're going to take it over to Hidden Gems. Deval's got a great movie that he wants to speak about. A very recent hidden gem as well, by the way. But yeah, Deval,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
for it.
This one's called the Artifice Girl.
Mm.
When I first saw it, I thought, do they mean the artificial girl? Are they not spelling it
Mm.
right? But we know what they mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I sort of touched on artificial intelligence,
Yep.
and I think this film is literally that in a T. This film is
Mm.
made on a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
There's a handful of people in this movie from the get-go, from the start to the finish. Director is also the writer. The,
Mm.
the one of the main actors in this is also what was he also? Oh my gosh, let me rephrase that. The director, the writer, the lead actor, the editor.
They're all the same person.
This
Jesus.
person does about six roles in this film, including editing,
Damn.
like I said, and also done some of the music for the song, done some of the music for the film as well.
Yeah.
So let me just start again. So, Artifice Girl, 2022. The premise is that a team of special agents discovers a revolutionary new computer program that baits and traps online
Mm.
predators.
Oh
So I
gosh.
don't know if you remember Chris Hansen, To Catch a Predator.
Yes.
Have you seen it before? Where he sort of they catch predators, they sort of do a
Like
trap,
catfish as well.
yeah, kind of thing, and they trap people that are trying to, yeah, just creeps basically,
Mm.
low lives
Mm.
that are trying to chat with young children and want to do more
Mm.
than just chat with young children, I
Yeah.
should say.
Bastards.
And they trap them and then they arrest them. This one's very different. It's the same but
Mm.
different. There's an artificial intelligence program that does similar to what a young person would do online. It would chat with them,
Yeah.
and this has gone further. They've created a
Oh.
video of a girl who is totally AI. She's
Right.
AI, but you would never know it.
Know it. Yeah.
You
Yep.
can chat to her like I'm chatting to you, and the way it's been programmed, she will respond to everything.
Oh
She's there in her
gosh.
room, moving around, like just being a girl in her room, but she's not real. This
Uh,
programmer created her, and he uses her to bait in these predators, and then the police arrest them. He sends all the information to the police anonymously.
yeah.
The police have been arresting them for years, and they now find out who the programmer is.
Right.
And they get him into a room, they interrogate him. The interrogation is really smart, really clever, and bit by bit, they seem to forge a relationship,
Right.
a
Right. Right.
team.
Right.
So he's now within that team of the FBI or police, and they're all working together to catch these predators.
Yeah.
You know, and it's even funny in the interrogation. They ask him, "What do you do for a living?" or how did you become a programmer?" He said he used to work on the post production team for Star Wars.
Oh
And he said,
gosh.
"Oh, what did you do in Star Wars?" He said, "Oh, I did rendering of graphics and people's
Yeah.
faces." And said, "Oh, what did you do with that?" He said, "Oh, I had to render Alec Guinness, or basically, he had to render someone who passed away,
Yes.
and he had to sort of make them look like they were still living and talking."
Yeah.
So that's the same skill set he used to make this young
Make
girl
this. Yeah.
and make her be lifelike, so those skills, these are real life skills. What I'm
Yeah,
trying to tell
man.
you is not far away from what can happen.
No, people are doing this shit now.
This shit can happen. You're going to start seeing relationships. I've started seeing programs and apps, especially in the crypto world, where
Hmm.
you can create your own influencer, and they will look similar to you or
Yep.
different, and they will run away and do videos. You can tell it what to do, it will do a video, and Bob's your uncle.
Yep.
And that's what he did here. And it's really, really smart how he used the program to lure in these predators. They get arrested, and then it gets to a stage in their relationship where ethics comes into it,
Mm.
and one of the police officers starts to question, is what we're doing right?
Right.
Because you know what it is. It's not whether the predators they're catching are right or wrong.
Mm.
That's not the part of it. One of the cops starts to think, hold on, this AI is so real,
So intelligent.
so intelligent. Like, are, are we taking advantage of this AI? He starts to see
Oh,
the AI as a real person and says, hold
real
on,
thing.
should they have rights? He starts to ask the AI, how do you feel about this? And the AI starts to be like, I am not programmed to have feelings. My primary objective is to lure any predators and blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, don't give me that bullshit. How do you feel about it? How do you? And then he's shouting at it, shouting at it. The other two colleagues are saying, shut your face. Like, what are you talking about? I've programmed it to not have any emotions. It's there to do something. And he's like,
Yeah.
shut up. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about it? And then the AI goes, okay, I'll tell you how I feel about it. And then the AI starts to talk like a
Starts.
real normal person. It's like,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
I just do what I have to do. But you know, if I could, I want to paint. I want to do this. And you're like, this AI is a
Uh,
real. It's deep, and then the
that's
ethics of
mad.
it starts to blow away, blow
Yeah.
up, and then it just divides the whole team. It's mad, mad,
And
mad.
no, that is the conversation that governments are having right now with the AI. Like
Yeah,
how far,
yeah.
I can't remember who it was, someone famous
Elon
basically
Musk.
said, yeah, he was like, we got to be
Yeah,
careful.
yeah. Elon Musk said that. He's the one that said it's going to be more dangerous than nuclear bombs.
Then,
It's like it's
yeah.
one of our biggest
But
like. Yeah.
why would someone like him, who is technology first guy, why would he say that?
Wouldn't the person with the biggest gun in
Biggest
the world be
world.
the one to be be the one to be afraid of the biggest guns in the world?
Yeah.
He himself probably has so much access to AI and knows what it's capable of.
Yeah.
He should be shitting himself more than anyone else in the
Yeah.
world.
He's probably thinking, man, if the governments get hold of this and they start kind of using it, man, that's it.
He knows what it's really capable of. So yeah, this film it really goes into that, and I think it's really smart. It's
Yeah.
like I said, it's on a budget. It's not a student film. Don't get me wrong, but you can see. I think the locations are like 3 or 4 rooms, but it's done really smartly.
Yeah.
It's
Sounds
really
interesting,
smart.
man.
It's really smart, and you get a special guest appearance from one of the
Ooh.
first AIs that we ever. I think they did it on purpose as well, but one of the first AIs that we saw in 1986 with Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, what? Alien.
Yeah, aliens. So
Oh, I know who
Bishop,
you're talking about.
yeah,
Bishop.
Bishop. He shows up in this,
So
and
that's a kind of a wink wink as well.
yeah, exactly, yeah, exactly. So yeah, he shows up in this, not for a massive role, but he's got a role in it,
He's
and
got a role in it as well.
yeah, smart.
I'm telling you, man, is it's kind of a hot topic at the moment. So this movie 2022 kind of really relevant, hidden gem. Go check it out, folks, and let us know what you think. And remember, you could be on the show talking movies, talking shit with us,
Mm,
talking AI, whatever you want to talk about. Hit us up. Come on the show. Let
yep.
us know what you're watching, and we'd love to have you on there.
Ooh,
All right. So listen, next week we've got a kind of big
talking
show.
about coming on the show. You know who's in the show next week?
Oh,
Finally.
finally, after years, we're going to get Zakharov on the
Yep.
show, and we're going to be speaking about Dune Part 2, which is this
Mm,
epic. We've already seen it, and it's an epic one. So we're going to get kind of another view on that one. So yeah, so stick around for that one. And what else? There's other big stuff coming out, man. We've got July.
Imaginary's out as well next week. That's
Imaginary.
a horror film. The producers of Blumhouse, Megan,
Yes.
so the teddy bear's evil or something like that. So
Mm,
that's out next week. I might get to watch it as well. Maybe I can talk about it.
yeah.
We'll see. But
Yeah, and then there's always something on kind of, on streaming that always pops up as well,
yeah,
which is worth a watch. So keep it locked with the Flixters, folks. We hope you enjoy this show. Get in touch with us. Let us know what you're doing. And yeah, we'll see you on the other one.